Did you know a bad PCV valve can reduce your engine's efficiency by up to 15% and cause your fuel consumption to spike by as much as 20%? Yeah, you heard right. That tiny, often overlooked valve can quietly sabotage your engine performance, burn through your gas, and even trigger that dreaded check engine light. When this tiny part goes bad, it can cause everything from rough idles and misfires to full-blown engine damage. In this video, we are going to break down the most common bad PCV valve symptoms and showing you how to maintain your PCV system like a pro. First, let's discuss the function of PCV valve. The PCV valve acts like a pressure release for your engine. Whenever your engine runs, it generates tiny amounts of unburned fuel and combustion byproducts, commonly known as blow-by gases. These gases sneak past the piston rings and build up inside the crankcase. The PCV valve allows these harmful gases to escape the crankcase and reroutes them back into the intake manifold, where they get burned off properly during combustion. Now let's discuss the symptoms of a bad PCV valve. 1. Rough idle or stalling. One of the most noticeable symptoms of a bad PCV valve is a rough idle or unexpected engine stalling. This usually happens when the valve gets stuck in the open position, which may allow too much air to enter the intake manifold. This extra unmetered air creates a vacuum leak that disrupts the proper air-to-fuel ratio and cause poor combustion. As a result, your engine may struggle to maintain a consistent idle. It coughs, sputters, and sometimes even shuts down altogether. You'll notice it when the car vibrates at idle or struggles to stay running when you slow down. This issue is more noticeable in traffic or when idling at red lights. 2. Check engine light. When the PCV valve goes bad, it throws off the entire balance of the air-fuel ratio. A stuck open or closed PCV valve may allow too much or too low air to enter the combustion chamber. When the engine's computer detects irregularities in the air-fuel mixture and thinks the engine is running rich or lean, it triggers the check engine light to alert the driver. The ECM may also trigger a specific PCV-related code such as P0171, P0174, or P0300. Even if the car seems to drive fine, ignoring this warning could lead to more serious problems. A scan tool or a visit to a mechanic can help pinpoint the issue quickly. 3. Increased oil consumption. A bad PCV valve may turn your car into an oil guzzler. If you find yourself topping off your engine oil more often than usual, a bad PCV valve might be to blame. A clogged or stuck closed valve causes excess pressure to build up in the crankcase. This pressure can force engine oil past seals and gaskets into the combustion chamber or external areas of the engine. As a result, oil either gets burned off or leaks out, leading to noticeable drops in oil levels. This doesn't just mean more frequent oil changes, it can also increase emissions and reduce engine efficiency. 4. Oil leaks. Another clear symptom of a malfunctioning PCV valve is oil leaking from the engine. When the valve fails to release pressure from the crankcase, that pressure has to go somewhere, and usually it finds the weakest seals and gaskets. You might notice oil stains on your driveway or around the engine bay, especially near the valve cover, oil pan, or rear main seal. These leaks aren't just messy, they can lead to costly repairs if the gaskets blow completely. On top of that, a leaky engine can pose a fire hazard if the oil hits hot components. 5. Poor fuel economy. Fuel efficiency takes a hit when the PCV valve isn't functioning correctly. A stuck-open valve allows too much air to enter the intake manifold, which can make the engine run lean. In response, the ECU might inject more fuel than necessary to compensate for the imbalance. On the other hand, a stuck-closed valve can cause a rich condition, burning more fuel than required. Either way, your car will use more gas to perform the same task. Over time, this inefficient combustion can also damage oxygen sensors and the catalytic converter. 6. Whistling or hissing noises. Ever hear a faint whistle or hiss when your engine's running? That sound might be a PCV valve struggling to breathe. When the valve or one of its hoses cracks, loosens, or fails internally, it disrupts the normal airflow and creates a vacuum leak. That vacuum leak causes air to rush into places it shouldn't, often making a high-pitched hiss that gets louder with engine speed. These sounds are often most noticeable when the engine is idling or under light throttle. 7. Black or blue smoke from the exhaust. When the PCV valve is stuck closed, the crankcase pressure builds up and forces oil past piston rings or valve seals into the cylinders, where it burns along with air-fuel mixture. This results in thick black or bluish smoke exiting the exhaust pipe, especially during acceleration. The blue tint usually indicates burning oil, while black smoke points to a rich fuel mixture, both of which can be PCV related. Aside from the visual symptoms, you may notice a burning oil smell as well. 8. Sludge buildup. Sludge is a thick, tar-like residue that forms when moisture, blow-by gases, and unburned fuel mix with engine oil, and a bad PCV valve can accelerate its formation. When the valve fails to ventilate the crankcase properly, contaminants build up instead of being routed back into the combustion process. Over time, this results in sludge formation, particularly under the valve covers and around the oil cap. Sludge reduces engine lubrication, clogs oil passages, and increases wear on moving parts. Regular oil changes and a functioning PCV system are key to preventing this. 9. Engine misfires. A faulty PCV valve can disrupt the precise air-fuel mixture your engine depends on, and when that balance is off, misfires are common. A stuck open PCV valve allows excess air into the intake manifold, which leads to lean air-fuel mixture. This can cause the engine to misfire on one or more cylinders, which you may feel as a shudder or hear as a sputtering sound, especially when idling or under light load. Misfires not only kill performance, they also lead to poor fuel economy, damage your catalytic converter, and make your engine sound rough and unhealthy. 10. Failed emissions test. The PCV system plays a major role in reducing harmful emissions by recycling crankcase gases back into the intake to be reburned. When the valve fails, the gases build up inside the crankcase. This buildup results in an imbalanced air-fuel mixture, increased hydrocarbon emissions, and poor catalytic converter efficiency. During an emissions test, your car may fail due to high levels of unburned fuel or oil vapors in the exhaust. In many regions, a failed emissions test means you can't legally register or drive your vehicle until the problem is fixed. Now let's discuss the common trouble codes related to bad PCV valve. P0171, System 2 lean, on bank 1, P0174, System 2 lean on bank 2P0300, random turn multiple cylinder misfire. If your engine control unit triggers any of these trouble codes, you should have been inspected your PCV valve by a professional. Now let's discuss how to inspect your PCV valve. First, gently pull or unscrew the PCV valve from its housing. Now hold the valve and shake it. If you hear rattling sound from your valve, it means your valve is in good shape. Next, perform vacuum test. Apply vacuum to the PCV valve inlet. The valve should open under vacuum and close when vacuum is removed. If it doesn't move or leaks vacuum, it's faulty. If the valve passes all tests, reinstall it. If it fails any step, you should replace it. Most OEM PCV valves cost between $10 to $50. It is recommended to replace your PCV valve every 30,000 to 60,000 miles. That's all for this video. Now that you know what to look for and how to maintain it, you're way ahead of most drivers out there. Don't wait until your engine's begging for help. Check that valve and keep your ride running strong.